P3, 5.2. Katie came home from school and ran to the computer. There was an email from Mom. To Katie Chang. From Dr. Chang. Subject: A note from the South Pole. Hi. A storm blew our weather pole over. It bent the weather vane. We had to climb on top of the dome to fix it. Brr. I am still trying to thaw out, but it's still really neat to be at the South Pole. Love you, Mom. Katie didn't care about the weather vane. She didn't care about the South Pole either. She just wanted her mom to come home. Katie wiped a tear. Then she sent her email to Mom. To Dr. Chang. From Katie Chang. Subject: A note from Katie. When are you coming home? I miss you. Dr. Chang was at the South Pole's new weather dome. She and 3 other scientists were there to study the weather. It was an adventure that the doctor had dreamed about all her life. Dr. Chang read the email from her daughter. She could sense the sadness Katie felt. She sent her some pictures to cheer her up. To Katie Chang. From Dr. Chang. Subject: Pictures from the South Pole. Dr. Tom took some pictures of the dome. I thought you might want to see what it's like here. Can we visit Mom? Katie begged her dad. We can borrow parkas from Jenna's family. And we already have passports. Okay, laughed Dad. It'll be quite an adventure. A week later, Dad and Katie were on their way. They flew over skyscrapers and bustling cities at first. But then the land below them became white and barren. Finally, they landed at the South Pole. Mom greeted them as they got off the plane. It's so great to see you! Come on, let's get out of this blustery wind. This is the weather dome. It's not exactly home, but it's warm and cozy. Mr. Gregory and Dr. Tom called to Mom. Take a look at this! The thermometer is dropping faster than a kid on a hot slide, said Dr. Tom. Katie could picture a child on a hot slide. She laughed out loud. Keep tracking it, said Mom. What's causing the temperature to drop so rapidly? Katie looked at the television screens that showed what was happening outside. She saw a lot of snow, but not much else. This isn't exactly a good place for sightseeing, thought Katie. Let's get you settled in, said Mom. She led them through a tunnel to her room. Then Mom picked up a weather report. Tomorrow the wind should die down. It might be a good day for Peppy. Who's Peppy? Katie wondered. She was angry. She resented the fact that her mother was working so far from home with strangers, and she didn't see why Mom was paying so much attention to the weather. The next morning, Dr. Tom asked Katie to help him with an experiment. Some kindergartners in Florida want to know if we can blow soap bubbles here, he said. It's below 0 outside. The soap will freeze, said Katie. Dr. Tom and Katie bundled up and headed outside. They dipped wands into a jar of soap. They blew into the wands. Big bubbles formed. Dr. Tom's bubbles floated to the ground. Bubbles! Giggled Katie. They turned white but didn't freeze. Dr. Tom headed back inside. Come on, he said. Your mom has something else for us to do. Inside, Mom handed them each a cup of hot chocolate. Drink up, she said. We're going back out in the cold in a few minutes. I want to see how Peppy does in this frigid weather. Mr. Gregory got Peppy. What is that? Asked Dad. Peppy is a snow bike. It was built just for the South Pole. But it hasn't been tested, said Mom. Do I have a volunteer? Everyone looked at Katie. Back outside, Katie put on a helmet, swung her leg over the bars, and took off. The wheels were so wide and full that the ride was bouncy. It was a funny ride. Everyone took a spin on Peppy. Mom made notes about how Peppy performed in the snow. Katie made some notes too. Katie looked at Mom. Now I understand why you love this job. But I love you and Dad even more, Mom added. I'll be finished here in 3 weeks, then I'm coming home to stay. Dad and Katie left the next day. On the plane, Katie sent Mom an email. To Dr. Chang. From Katie Chang. Subject: 21 days and counting. I love you, Mom, and I love the weather dome too. Thanks for letting us visit. I will see you soon.